top of the morning bay with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
Namaskar.
वनकम,
Namaskara.
खुशामदीद,
Assalamu alaikum.
सत श्री अकाल,
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము.
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जुनेंद्र।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते हैं या अली मदद.
मौला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी मंत्रों को बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बदजन। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे। मैं से फालतू बाबा,
And of course, myself, Faltu Rani, लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जाने.
तो बदजन अभी आप सोच रहे हैं क्या होने वाला है अल्तुबा? What are you going to do? I'm going to give you an update of like no other badajan. I'm going to give you a traffic update right now. Yeah, you may find a COVID shelter in place के टाइम पे traffic update कैसा?
You know-
ऐसा.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, Father, do you remember you actually told us though you actually thinking of the 1 month COVID will be out?
Yeah.
You said that, right?
मैंने कहा कि whether COVID is out or not, people will be out and about.
Well, people already are out and about, Father. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you right now. आज का बदजन, I'll tell you what. Traffic update is very interesting. You actually will see a lot of action on the freeways right now.
Oh.
And though the freeways are not like blocked like how it happened BC, that's before COVID.
Yeah.
There's a lot of accidents also, and watch out, there's a lot of injuries as well, Banjan. On 680 southbound, south of the Ottoman Parkway, 680, there's an accident as a traffic collision basically with injuries.
Oh God.
Please watch out, drive very carefully. If you actually are one of those people going to work right now and don't be in a hurry. Aram se yaar, health comes first. This actually should be a lesson for everybody out there, saying that how important health is. A whole world can shut down for our health.
Right.
So it's important for us. And similarly, an accident on 880 northbound, north of Great Mall Parkway also is kind of in that region. Luckily, it's not slowing down traffic like how generally it does. On a regular day, right? Great Mall, it's always it's like in the Milpitas area, it's always a bottleneck kind of a thing, right?
Correct.
Luckily, traffic is not affected, but nevertheless, I feel sorry for the people who actually are stuck in that incident. I hope the CHP already is on the scene. Probably it's getting cleared also. It's a little bit of it's been 10 minutes since it's been there on the notice board right now.
Right.
And of course, watch out if you're traveling towards 580 towards the I don't know if you're going to go towards Tracy or whatever. The high wind advisory on 580 between the Vasco Road and Livermore Grant Line in that region. So watch out for that for sure. A bunch of traffic road works are happening still right now, Banjan. In fact, COVID shelter in place के आड़ में बहुत काम चल रही है. In fact, the roads are looking much better. When I drove on 880 and everything, Banjan, I actually get to go on at least multiple freeways in a day. क्या करे Banjan, work which doesn't get paid also, by the way. But nevertheless, there's road work happening.
You like going. Let's
I
just
like
say
driving.
he likes driving.
Yes, I like
so
driving.
that's
So, मैं क्या करूँ? What
So
can
don't
I don't mind. I like driving faster. If that's driving the car, driving people crazy.
yeah, that's true.
Well, but I'll tell you what. We have to quickly go and see what's happening. The headlines for you guys, because I know many people are wondering, like, oh my God, how long will it last? What's going to happen to schools? Yeah, all those things, Banjan. In fact, we have some reports on those also for you guys. It's coming up. But first of all, let's go see what's with the headlines. Faldoni, what do we have for headlines today?
Well, the tropical storm Isaias, I think that's what it's called, Isaias, kills one as tornadoes threaten the U.S. Northeast. Local governments are overwhelmed in the race to trace COVID contacts. I don't know if any of you who live in Santa Clara County, you must have received a notification yesterday saying that somebody will be calling you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you have come into contact or if you receive a phone call, please do respond to them, because they say that the only reason that they would call you is because either you've been infected or you've been tested, or somebody infected has come into contact with somebody in your circle or with you.
Oh my goodness.
So also local governments have been like I mentioned, have been overwhelmed in this race. We'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. The military has begun to help worn out nurses and sicker patients in California COVID-19 effort now.
Wow.
Top some Senate Democrat is saying that the COVID-19 relief talks, the stimulus bill, is moving in the right direction. Trump snubs a civil rights icon, the late John Lewis, and cited his absence at the 2017 inauguration.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. Speaking of that, Stacey Abrams, remember the gubernatorial candidate from Atlanta who lost because of voter suppression or supposed voter suppression, she says not to expect a US presidential winner on election night. And then Pakistan has redrawn and published their map, which includes parts of Gujarat and all of Jammu and Kashmir. And India says this is an exercise in political absurdity. More on that coming up shortly. Bihar's move for the CBI probe in the Sushant Singh Rajput case is politically motivated, according to Amrita Fadnavis. More on that too, coming up shortly. A large blast in the Beirut port area shakes Lebanon's capital. Several suspected dead and injured. You would get more information on that too shortly. And the escalating Sino-US tensions have put a strain on the S&P 500 and the Dow. And ByteDance founder is defending TikTok's US strategy in a staff letter.
Interesting. So there is going to be a buyout by Microsoft, I suppose.
Well, right now it's on hold after Bill Gates spoke with Donald Trump, I think.
Oh, really?
So there are still talks with regard to that, but ByteDance is defending their strategy. So more on that, we will bring that information for you right here.
Yes, Badajan, and of course, right now it's time for us to go take a look at a Ganika Kida, which tells you no matter what the news comes up, Badajan, everything happens for the good. So just don't worry about it. Matlab, fikr not, yaar, Badajan. Enjoy karo. Life, enjoy karo. A song for you from the movie Chichore. I think one of the last theatrical releases of Sushant Singh Rajput, who actually was a super duper hit actually. I haven't seen the movie yet. If you want to see it, it's on one of the online streams. Lekin abhi suniyega ye gana in the voice of many people actually. Amitabh Bhattacharya, Sri Ramchandra, Antara Mitra, Dev Negi, Amit Mishra, and of course Nakash Aziz.
मरने से पहले मर जाएगा ओ चिंता करके क्या पाएगा मरने से पहले मर जाएगा सुनिए गाना काम आएगा बस खाने पीले जीले क्योंकि जिंदगी है
Oh my God, totally my story, Pastor. Pagre fikar not, khale pile zindagi jile.
कल की खुशियों का महंगा म्यूचुअल फंड की किस्तें क्यों भर रहा है आज को दंड देके
ओ कल की खुशियों का महंगा म्यूचुअल फंड लेके किस्ते क्यों भर रहा है आज को दंड देके रैबिट बन के कर न सके जो कछुआ बन के कर जाएगा
रैबिट बन के कर न सके जो कछुआ बन के कर जाएगा
सुनिए गाना काम आएगा बस खाने का पीने का जीने का बोले तो जिंदगी है शॉर्ट अरे पगल फिकर नॉट अरे पगल फिकर नॉट
अरे पगल फिकर नॉट अरे पगल फिकर नॉट and फिकर ना Badajan, ये गाना फिर से आएगा आप लोगों को. Are you wondering, oh my God, it's a nice thing, applies perfectly to my life? Yes, it does, Badajan. You know, it actually is a summation of all the wisdom skills we've been sharing with you guys on the wisdom series, Faltrani. You know, I'm thinking what we should do, right? We should take the wisdom skills and actually link it to a song which you're going to present to them.
Oh,
Yeah, but we'll do it for you guys. We'll call the Bollywood wisdom for you guys.
Yes.
And uska, of course, seek. Actually, we're trying that actually already with all the shows on our morning. I think especially the Good Morning Baby, we actually play songs which actually have some kind of message for everybody out there to listen to.
Correct.
And Abhi ke liye, Banjan, I think it's time for us to. Many of you are wondering, oh my God, the headlines Faltoni shares got me excited and got me nervous. Well, actually, some of the news items which he talked about really getting me nervous, Banjan. I never was on TikTok right now. I feel actually it's like what do you call that? I feel left out, or what is the thing? Fear of missing out. FOMO. I have a FOMO situation right now. You just imagine all the money which I would have missed out making in that particular TikTok.
In the TikTok,
People actually made money for that. They used to make like around $3,000 a month. Did you know that?
What?
30,000 rupees.
Oh God.
In a month they used to make in India. They used to actually run the whole household just on TikTok videos. And what simple, there's one auntie used to actually do some exercise, I believe, and everybody used to watch that. And somebody sponsored that video also.
What?
I'm not kidding, seriously. It was just she'll wear chudar kameez in her hall. She'll wear granite tiles and everything. She'll wear chudar kameez. She'll dance. It's like a fitness dance.
Oh God.
And best part is she's not even fit, by the way. Anyway, that's TikTok, I suppose.
Well,
that's
it's just the more you think about this, if you look, it's more of voyeurism, right?
It's more of boredom. People are getting bored.
No, voyeurism.
Yeah, right. Agree
I
with
think
you.
if somebody, if it's really adding value, or if it's relaxing you, or if it's in some way entertaining you, clearly
Well-
people are entertained by somebody dancing in their living room or in their bedroom.
Can I say something, Faldwani? You will not like me for this, but anyway, Barjan will not like me also saying this. Things like TikTok, Instagram
Yeah.
are, and also...
Narcissistic.
And
Yes.
also the other one, what's the other one which is very famous? TikTok, Instagram, and something else. Snapchat and everything, right? They all are feeding into your narcissistic desires.
Yeah.
Like, desire of being famous.
Yeah.
Wanting to people to see them, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
those things. And of course, they say it's adding value. The only value they see adding is if at all it happens, it'll be like, dollars or money.
Exactly.
And money is not real.
Yeah.
Exactly, Bandajan. Now, having said that, we too are we're on Instagram as well. That doesn't mean that we actually are trying to get something out there. We try to reach out to you guys. If at all you want to reach out to us, you can do that also, by the way. And if you want to send a message to us, in fact, we are getting a lot of people sending us stories about what's happening locally and all that. So most of the stories we share with you guys on air are, of course, driven by you guys. And you can catch up the detail about these things on our news blog, mediamahima.com. Yes, you too can become a contributor, but of course, we do have a vetting process for you guys. So you too can be a contributor for us. So if you want to be a contributor for our news blog, you can just send us a message on bandhu@mediamahima.com or send us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio DHOTs.
Right, and if you have come up with some kind of writing on your own, your perspective or your opinion, we're more than happy to carry it.
Yes, we carry rai, jeera, everything. So you can send your rai and we'll make a part of it.
Yeah, Altu Baba.
Yeah, we can put some jeera and make some tadka of it, right?
Well, ideally, our blog is not multilingual, Banjan. It is in English. So we're talking about the Rai in Hindi that he's talking about,
Oh my God.
which is opinion in
You just
English.
diss me by saying that I only speak Hindi, English.
Yeah, I don't know what you
Dude,
did.
language
but you just completely
is ever
messed it up.
evolving, Fatwari. Language ever evolving. Do you know how many words of the Indian language has gone into Oxford Dictionary? Do you know?
No, Altu Baba, I don't know.
I don't even want to tell you because you'll again question that. So
Yes,
it's fine.
I will.
But right now, I want to ask you one question, Fatwani.
Yeah.
You shared some wonderful headlines for us. Sometimes I think I'm getting worked up also. What is the thing about all the, First of all, I want to know one thing. What does it say about coronavirus? You didn't talk anything about headlines of coronavirus. Is it like going away? Is it like staying? What is it?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
The UN Secretary General is saying that the world is facing a generational catastrophe.
What?
Yes, because of the havoc that COVID-19 is wreaking on education systems.
I just know that next year is going to a lot of population boom, I suppose.
No.
Probably. It'll be the
People
baby
are
boomers.
too tense. In fact, this is the third weekend in a row that when I was out for the MyPack program, we've seen people honking at each other.
Why?
People, even pedestrians, yelling out profanities at. Oh, maybe I was with the same. No, I was only with this driver once. I was with another driver. I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat, just letting you know. But people like cussing each other out, having absolutely no patience. And this has happened 3 times in a row. And I noticed that people are becoming less and less tolerant. I don't know why. One would think that this would give you time to reflect, right? And time to take a deep breath, let it out because you're by yourself, you're home, you have more time to spend with your loved ones. So let's focus on those wisdom skills, Punjab. Either ways, I am going to tell you that it's not just me, but it's a lot of people and people in positions of authority who are actually saying at this particular point in time that many systems have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And as it stands, more than 1 billion students have been affected in some way by the pandemic, and that could mean long-term consequences for other critical issues such as child marriage and gender equality. UN agencies are working with education partners on ways to prioritize school openings once local coronavirus outbreaks subside, including targeting education and relief funding and exploring new teaching methods. In the US, new studies suggest that frequent testing will be the key to keeping classrooms and college campuses safe. In the United Kingdom, the British government says it secured millions of rapid coronavirus tests that can detect the virus in about 90 minutes. So I think so too. I think frequent testing is the way to go, right, Altu?
I totally understand. Yeah, frequent testing is important, yes. But do we have enough testing kits? The question.
Yes, that is true. But speaking of enough testing kits, right, Altu Baba, with the pandemic claiming hundreds of American lives daily, many city and county health departments say that they lack the money and the staff to warn people who have been exposed, according to a Reuters survey, Banjam. At least one jurisdiction has given up asking people with coronavirus to tell the contacts themselves. The soaring number of COVID-19 cases in the United States has far outstripped many local health departments' abilities to trace the contacts of those infected, a step critical in containing the virus spread. Now, here is the thing. In Santa Clara County too, right? They don't want to pay these people who are so-called contact tracers. They want people to volunteer their time and go and sit there. Especially now, really, why would you do that when it is a key, crucial position, right, for somebody to be a contact tracer? They should pay for these positions. And I'm saying should only because we are in a pandemic and the economy is not doing well. Many people are losing jobs. For somebody to take time out to come and volunteer and do this on their own, you need to be able to consider they need to really not have any other family. They don't have to have any other obligations. And
They're saying it's a risk job, so it has to be.
No, it's not a risky job. You could sit at your home and possibly do it. But at the same time, if you have children who are not going to school, whom you have to teach, if you've just been laid off from your job, you don't have a source of income, then would you really consider volunteering? Is the question. So, and they're complaining that they don't have enough resources at this particular point in time. So almost 1,000 lives are being lost daily, Banajan, and many city and county departments are saying that they don't have the staff. And the United States is badly lagging behind other wealthy countries in contact tracing, including South Korea and Germany, which ramped up their programs months ago. Contributing to the faltering U.S. response in the government's failure to provide accurate and timely diagnostic testing, some other countries something that other countries have actually been able to roll out much faster and more broadly. In fact, in California, all day long, the military has been helping worn-out nurses and sicker patients in their COVID-19 effort. Over the past 2 weeks, the U.S. Department of Defense has sent nearly 200 medics and logistical experts to the valley. The military has also sent nearly 600 personnel to Texas, where a surge in COVID-19 cases is crushing hospitals along the Rio Grande Valley and elsewhere in the state. The teams of nurses, doctors, and technicians work extra shifts treating sicker than usual hospital patients. Many are so weak from oxygen deprivation that they can barely eat.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the San Joaquin Valley agricultural region, ICUs are overflowing as cases surged earlier this summer. In some counties, as many as 28% of test results were positive.
I don't understand. There's so many things happening with the COVID situation. People are not aware, is it? Because they act like as though nothing is happening. I've seen people actually go out, in groups.
Yeah. Well, I think people think that, oh yeah, it's as long as I'm not affected, it's fine. But I think this is getting to be, especially for the frontline workers, right? It's really, really hard. The nurses and yeah, I mean, while we are saying that it's important for us to resume normalcy, I think if everybody contributed by doing just their little bit, I think we'll be out of this faster.
Yeah.
Maybe not. We don't know. Well, let's talk about the relief efforts, Panjan, in terms of the economic relief, because we all know that unemployment benefits of that $600 extra expired last week. So negotiations between congressional Democrats and the White House are on a new round of coronavirus relief and have begun to move in the right direction, though the two sides remain far apart, U.S. Senate's top Democrat said on Tuesday. After a week of almost daily negotiations, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said that he, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, and the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows have moved closer in several areas. We remain far apart on a number of issues, but we're finally moving in the right direction, Schumer said on the Senate floor. At the moment, the gap between our two parties in the negotiations is about priorities and about scale. And as the four negotiators plan to meet again at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the Capitol, differences remained on key issues, including unemployment benefits for workers made jobless by this epidemic, as well as liability protections for businesses and funding for schools, state and local governments, and election security. Let's go on over and talk a little bit about what Stacey Abrams said. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have been, if you follow Donald Trump, you'll see that he's been talking about he's been invalidating the U.S. mail, right? So he's been saying the U.S. Postal Service, mail-in ballots is not reliable, blah, blah, blah. But looks like it's going to be mail-in this time, elections.
That's why he's saying that. No, because he always disputed saying that. I always told you from day number one. Faulty.
Right. But in light of all of that, voting rights advocate Stacey Abrams warned Americans on Tuesday not to expect to learn the winner of the White House on election night, November 3rd, as problems delivering and counting an unexpected flood of mail-in ballots prompted by the coronavirus pandemic could delay the result and draw a flurry of legal challenges. The sheer volume of people who will be voting by mail is going to preclude the ability to count those ballots and adjudicate the outcome of the election by 11 p.m. on election night, Abrams, a Democrat and former leader in Georgia's state legislature, said in a virtual Reuters newsmaker event. And the public health crisis has drawn litigation in dozens of states from both major parties. Democrats and voting rights groups have pushed for voting by mail as a safer option to cast ballots during the pandemic, while Trump and his allies have proclaimed without evidence that expanding voting by mail will lead to widespread fraud. So if you want to catch up on that story, you can go to mediamahima.com. And in his lieu of putting everybody down, our wonderful President Donald Trump, sarcasm, actually aired his grievances anew this week as he dismissed the legacy of the late U.S. Representative and civil rights icon John Lewis after snubbing him and defending his decision not to pay his last respects to the legendary civil rights leader following his recent death. Lewis, who played an instrumental role in passing the Voting Rights Act of 1965, was buried last week after an emotional service in Atlanta attended by 3 of the nation's 4 living past presidents. Asked about the legacy of Lewis and how history would remember him, Trump told Axios, "I really don't know. I don't know John Lewis. He chose not to come to my inauguration. I never met John Lewis. Actually, I don't believe."
What?
Yeah, that's what he
Is
said.
always I don't believe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Lewis did not attend Trump's January 2017 inauguration after questioning the legitimacy of the 2016 presidential election amid the Russian meddling, sparking a verbal clash with the then president-elect. And this particular interview where aired Monday night, but was taped July 28th. As Lewis was honored in Washington and laid in state in the U.S. Capitol. Trump did not attend, although Vice President Mike Pence, who had served in the House of Reps with Lewis, did. Former presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, all of them attended the memorial service in Atlanta, while 95-year-old former President Jimmy Carter sent a letter. There's more information about India and what's happening with the... do we have time for that, Alto Baba, or no?
Sure.
This one is really important, Badajan, because in a provocative move, Pakistan on Tuesday unveiled its new political map showing the entire Jammu and Kashmir and parts of Gujarat as its territories, drawing the ire of India, which dismissed it as ridiculous assertions that have neither legal validity nor international credibility. We have seen a so-called map of Pakistan that has been released by Prime Minister Imran Khan himself. This is an exercise in political absurdity, laying untenable claims to territories in the Indian state of Gujarat and union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and of Ladakh, the Ministry of External Affairs said in a brief statement in New Delhi. And of course, if you want to read up on this entire story and what's happening with regard to this, you can go to mediamahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe Bandujan. We will be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Till then, have yourselves a wonderful, terrific Tuesday.
ओ चिंता करके क्या पाएगा मरने से पहले मर जाएगा
सुन ये गाना काम आएगा
बस खाने पीले जीले क्योंकि जिंदगी है शॉर्ट अरे पगल फिकर नॉट अरे पगल फिकर नॉट